Aliens, nukes, NASA. Sounds like the start of a conspiracy theory, but these aren't rumors. They're all backed by declassified documents and official testimonies. The truth is far more bizarre than fiction. Let's start with UFOs, or as the Pentagon now prefers, UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. Sounds less scary, right? In 2017, the US admitted it had secretly tracked flying objects behaving in ways we can't explain. The released footage showed Navy pilots locking onto spinning, glowing objects moving at hypersonic speeds with no wings, no visible propulsion, and pulling off physics-defying maneuvers. In one clip, the pilot yells, "There's a whole fleet of them!" What was the Pentagon's response? A shrug and an official, "We don't know what those are." Even more shocking, in 2023, a whistleblower named David Grush testified before Congress. He claimed the U.S. is in possession of alien vehicles, and possibly even non-human biologics. That's a fancy way of saying alien bodies might be real and the government might have them in storage. And no one laughed at him in Congress. What followed wasn't denial, just silence. The kind of silence that says, "You heard that right, but we're not explaining further." So where are these crafts and bodies? The answer is always the same. Can't comment, national security, which usually means definitely, but we won't confirm it. Some believe the government has been reverse engineering alien technology since the mid-1900s. If that's true, what breakthroughs we call human progress might have a much stranger origin. Others suggest we've already made contact, but instead of a Hollywood-style invasion, maybe it's quiet observation. And maybe we're the ones being studied. Now let's move to something equally terrifying, but homegrown: nuclear weapons. Since 1950, the United States has lost 32 nuclear bombs. Not misplaced, lost. Take the 1958 Tybee bomb. A bomber collided with a fighter jet over Georgia. To save the crew, they dropped a nuclear bomb into the ocean. It's still there, unrecovered, possibly still armed. Then there's the 1961 Goldsboro incident in North Carolina. A B-52 broke apart mid-air, dropping 2 nukes. One nearly detonated. Only a single safety switch stopped it. Military terminology for these accidents? Broken arrows. Sounds poetic. It's actually horrifying. A broken arrow means a nuclear weapon is missing or mishandled. There are maps showing where these bombs went missing. Some in oceans, some near civilian areas, some never spoken of again. And when asked, the response is always, "No danger to the public." But let's be honest, if someone told you a bomb was lost in your neighborhood but it's fine, would you sleep well? Nuclear weapons weren't the only secrets dropped in the 20th century. Let's talk about NASA, the agency we trust to explore the universe and explain the unknown. During the Apollo 10 mission in 1969, astronauts orbiting the moon's far side reported hearing strange space music. It wasn't radio static. It was harmonic tones they couldn't explain. NASA later dismissed it as interference, but the astronauts weren't so sure, and the audio recordings were locked away in archives for decades. In 1976, NASA's Viking mission to Mars conducted experiments that produced chemical reactions similar to those expected from living organisms. The results? Ignored and buried. The lead scientist later said he believed they found signs of microbial life, but NASA chose not to publicize it, claiming more tests were needed. Those tests never came. More recently, photos from Mars have shown structures, archways, tunnels, symmetrical shapes that look artificial. NASA says it's just rocks and shadows playing tricks. Critics argue that the images we receive are filtered, sometimes altered. One former NASA engineer claimed anomalies are edited before public release. NASA, of course, denies this. Then there's the infamous face on Mars, a mountain formation resembling a human face photographed in 1976. NASA says it's a trick of light. Some researchers aren't convinced. Documents obtained through the Freedom of Information Act mention deep space anomalies and even extraterrestrial threats, but these files are often heavily redacted. So what's really going on? Are we witnessing government incompetence or deliberate silence about what lies beyond? Maybe it's both. Maybe some things are hidden because they're too dangerous, or maybe they challenge our understanding of science, history, even reality. One thing is certain: when information comes out, it's rarely voluntary. It's leaked, revealed, or forced into the light by whistleblowers and researchers. And every time it happens, the public is left stunned, confused, and a little more skeptical about what we're told to believe. Let's not forget, the phrase national security can cover anything, from legitimate threats to embarrassing truths. This isn't about paranoia. It's about curiosity, about questioning a version of history that leaves out the most important parts. There are files labeled top secret that could rewrite everything we think we know, from humanity's past to our future. If alien crafts exist, it changes our place in the universe. If lost nukes lie forgotten, it changes how safe we really are. If NASA has hidden data, it changes what we trust. We may never get full answers, but the pattern is clear: deny, deflect, delay, until the truth leaks, often decades later. So we keep asking, we keep digging, and sometimes what we find is stranger than fiction, but also more real than anything we imagined. Because the truth has never been a matter of convenience. It's always been a matter of who controls the narrative. The more we know, the more questions we have. And that's exactly how discovery works. So here's the real question. If we already know this much from declassified scraps, what else is still locked away? Are there alien technologies in bunkers? Nuclear weapons still ticking underwater? Moon recordings we've never heard? We might never know. But one thing's for sure, these stories won't stay buried forever. The cracks are already showing. Whistleblowers are speaking, and every leak brings us one step closer to the full picture. You don't need to believe in aliens or conspiracies to ask questions. You just need curiosity and maybe a healthy dose of skepticism. Keep questioning, keep watching, and don't let anyone convince you that silence means safety. Because the truth, it doesn't vanish. It just waits, quietly, for someone to notice. And that someone might be you. If this video made you think, hit that like button, drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to Zyntra for more hidden truths and untold stories. Your curiosity keeps this channel alive.